Okay, I'm going to start my recording now. Hi, we're Team C4. I'm Nicolette, and I'm joined with Julia, Adam, and Jamin. Our project is focusing on remote learning and distributed education, specifically redesigning the platform Zoom. Here's a breakdown of what we'll be discussing today. We'll start with our introduction and mission statement, dive into our competitive analysis, user testing insights, sketches and prototypes, and our next steps. With COVID-19, the shift from in-person to online education has impacted the way students learn and the way teachers teach. Namely, teacher and student burnout are highly prevalent issues, and in-class participation is at an all-time low. Our motivation behind choosing distributed education was to address the issues with remote learning, namely with one of the leading platforms right now, Zoom. As it currently stands, Zoom is the platform of choice in remote learning settings. However, it only supports a one-dimensional style of teaching, limiting customization and ways to support various teaching styles. Our goal is to improve upon existing engagement features on Zoom, such as raise hand, chat, and more, while adding new features that specifically support remote collaboration, such as whiteboarding and mind mapping. At the start of our user research, we were able to gather over 100 survey insights from high school students and teachers, as well as college students and professors. From this, we learned from high school students that they wish there was a way they could connect more with other students in class. All they do is listen to the teacher speak via video call. In addition, we learned from professors and teachers that instead of using a multitude of different tools to teach their class, they wish there was one comprehensive program that allows them to lecture students while also having the capacity for collaboration. With this, we created our mission statement that asks, how might we foster an interactive remote learning environment that encourages student collaboration and supports various teaching styles?
We then had a competitive analysis of different companies just to get pros and cons of each. One of the first companies we looked at was Flipgrid. Despite having a very bright and gamified UI, they lacked live interactions and an asynchronous class session. Google Classroom had questions and polling added as well as connectivity to most of the G Suite, but it lacked features connecting to other platforms. In Google Meet, people can use a whiteboarding feature, but polling is completely non-existent and it does not have a calendar system. We then created some sketches based on our user insight and competitive analysis. We decided to focus in on different issues with each sketch to cover a broad range of possibilities. We then redefined our sketches to make starting low-fi prototypes that combined different aspects from the sketches that we like, such as an updating polling system or changing the tab bar.
In our first iteration for user testing, we had a little difficulty prioritizing some elements on our screen. Primarily, we had concerns regarding the flow and placement of our interactive features within the Zoom window. Through user testing, we found that users were confused when navigating around the new Zoom features, so we took the decision to update our information architecture by nesting common functionality together. As you can see on the diagram on the right, annotation, breakout rooms, break time all fall under the screen sharing umbrella, and this was previously separated and now we joined it. The second thing was we also removed the toggle feature between interactive and presentation mode and gave users the option to enable interactive mode directly from the General Settings tab.
After we conducted our user testing on our first high-fidelity prototype, this is the design and user flow that we came up with. For our mood board, we looked on Dribbble and at other popular platforms for design inspiration. We wanted our designs to still reflect Zoom's professional and sleek design system, but with a playful and colorful visual twist. We started our style guideline with choosing our typography styles, color palette, and buttons, which emulated Zoom's current design. We added card elements at varied opacity levels to create more dimension for Zoom's dark mode design. We also created a gradient element which we layered in our background to further create dimension and add color to our design. Next, we'll be covering the features that we added in our redesign. The first feature we added was a calendar integration on the home page under the upcoming meeting section for users to easily sync schedules from Google Calendar, iOS Calendar, and Outlook. This helps the user to feel in control of their schedule and not be overwhelmed with an unexpected meeting.
Another feature we added was the interactive features. So these interactive features added more collaborative tools such as mind mapping, whiteboarding, quiz time, and many more. And all these tools were introduced as exercises to encourage team building online with peers and classmates. So the first interactive feature is whiteboarding, and this is basically a collaborative board where everyone can draw and write together. The second thing is mind mapping, and this is very useful for classes which are trying to brainstorm ideas of maybe a topic in science or math. Next, we have quiz time. So you can kind of think of quiz time as a polling or questions feature, similar to a trivia game. So if a professor sends out a quiz to its students, the professor will be able to see a list or a result summary of all their students' participation in the quiz. And this way, professors can evaluate and see how they can further assist their students. The fourth one is annotation. So previously, annotation is already an existing tool within Zoom, but it was pretty hidden, so we made it very apparent by putting it in the bottom tab bar. Last but not least is break time. And break time feature can be very useful when teachers have really long class sessions. As of now, when teachers give students a break, they would manually assign a time for students to tune in back. However, we made this feature to make it easier to automate a timer for breaks.
Now we're going to move on to our features from our settings. We've included customizable avatars for students who find themselves not as comfortable showing their faces. It also adds more color to Zoom's default display, and it replaces the mundane gray background with a user's initials. Students, teachers are able to really customize their avatar. And we also added in customizable tab bar. Since every teacher has a different teaching style and would utilize certain tools, we decided to make the tab bar fully customizable. You choose what you want to use, and you can change it per lecture, per discussion. Possibilities are really endless. It allows full control of the tab bar so that those teaching can include only what they find necessary.
Next steps. So my team and I were brainstorming solutions for users with latency issues. So think about students or users who might be in a location where the Wi-Fi is bad. How might that experience be for them? How different would it be? The second thing is to think about providing alternate experiences for kids in primary school and kindergarten, because we want to make it more collaborative and fun for kids, and maybe we should consider different styles and layouts for those users. We want to express our gratitude to Professor Haijun, our TAs, and my wonderful teammates who made this project possible.